We're talking about self-respect for this month. What does it mean to you tonight? That's what we're getting into. I need to fix this screen real quick. Y'all come on in, join us. This is an open space. This is Men Monday. This is about men. Nothing but men in the box. It's going to be very positive tonight. Excuse me, you all have tuned in to the New Black Church podcast where your Bible is your story. There is no particular religion, no culture, no gender, or anything like that. What we do, we love people and encourage everyone to share their story because there's just something so unique about you that can change so many lives. And that's what we want to do. We just want to use your story to encourage somebody else to become the greatest person that they can be, just like you have. So come on in, check us out for the night. See what's going on. Let's share some life. Let's share some conversation. Let's share some joy. Typically, I used to do this on my other platform, but we moved it over from my personal into this one. There goes my girl. She supports me like crazy. Oh, come on up here and talk to me. You done got your number. Oh, you ain't come up tonight. That's for me and all the shoes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, there goes my boy Trump. Trump for 2024. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody believing in what they want to believe in. That is what I actually I love and I enjoy it. I'm going to have to go over to this other page and let them know that this is where we are tonight. One of my moderators, he's not following me. He's just acting up. I need to get him over here and get that straight. But yeah, y'all come on in. Check us out tonight. Come on. If you got the number, go ahead and jump up in the box. Tonight is men only. And we're talking about self-respect. Let me get this screen fixed real quick. What is it? Enhancements. No, not enhancements. We need effects. And then we need this one, I believe. Let's go back. I think this is the correct topic. Let me see. Nope, that ain't the right topic. I done changed these up. What have I clicked on? Let me click here. Effects. Come back to this one. It is that one. It's just not showing up properly. Why? This is showing up so. You know what? It's going to fix itself if somebody come up in the box and join me. That's when it's going to come from the bottom up to the top. Original being, how you doing this evening? I got to get back on this other platform and get these beings in here tonight because it's the first night that we have switched over to this account. And so we're having to change everything over. I need to let everybody know once again that we are on this platform and not the other one. Need to get this one set up so people can know. Okay, I got this one here going. Let's put this in the chat. Okay, I don't even know how to get into my own chat on this other account. Wait a minute, I got the wrong camera up on that account. Hold on, let me shut that one down. In, now, went down. Okay, let me come on over here. Let's go ahead. This is going to be a little bit challenging tonight, y'all, because everybody needs to know that we have switched over from my personal account over to this account. And this is the account that we're, well, okay, cool. This is the account that we're going live from. Is this one, not the other account. And so it's letting people know, come and join us at the New Black Church. Join us in that one tonight, not on the Duran Waters account. Oh, you can't hear me? Hold on. Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. I totally forgot this thing was plugged up. I forgot to unplug it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Y'all remember, Queen, we're over at the we're at the other account. We're at the other account. At Come join us over here at the New Black Church. I think I put that in there for Queen. Let me bring this back down. Can you hear me now? Thank you so much. I totally forgot I had this one plugged up. Okay, Queen came over here. Yeah, Queen. I'm running two screens at the same time. I'm trying to make sure that everybody know that we are not. We moved everything over to at the New Black Church, so we're running them both at the same time simultaneously. We're trying to make sure everybody gets over to the correct account this evening. Thank y'all for the love that's coming in. Y'all can hear me now. I appreciate that. Yeah, y'all come on over to the New Black Church, so that's the one that we're at. So remember, come over to the let me put this up real quick. I knew this was going to be a challenge the first night doing this. I'm about to get some more promotions out on it. I put the video out today. I'm hoping everybody can see the message that they need to come over here and join us over in this space, because we are talking about respect. We are talking about self-respect. That is something serious, because if we're not respecting ourselves first, how are we expecting someone else to respect us? Now, I know that she said, why are you on two screens? Yeah, Queen. I am really trying to get these people off of the other screen and get them over to this screen tonight. But self-respect. I mean, how do we expect somebody else to respect us, and then to how we expect them to respect us, and we're not respecting ourselves? So we want to make sure they're doing that. Let me fix the words real quick. It didn't say. Okay, there we go. What is self-respect, and why is it so important to a man? Okay, is that a whole lot better there? Okay, cool. So y'all remember, we are over at the New Black Church on TikTok. We've moved everything over to that platform tonight. And so we're coming off of Duran Waters, and we're coming over to the New Black Church. Moving everything off of my personal account. So if you're on the Duran Waters account, go ahead and follow the New Black Church. Self-respect. Why is it so important to men? And this is super important. Once again, if a man is supposed to lead a woman, he has to know how to love himself and respect himself first. And that's what makes it so important to us. So we want to make sure that men are respecting themselves before they do anything else. Okay. And so, like I said, we try to get the men out here tonight. Now, where Bama at? Ain't nobody coming up like they supposed to. And so we're trying to get the men in, get them coming in. Invite 5 people for me if you can, and invite these people out so that they can get the message that this is where we're at. People are still joining the other live, but that's okay. We're going to let people come in over here and join in. It's going to take us a little bit of time to get everything switched over to this account. Glammy 1010. I know what Glammy mean. How you doing? I appreciate you coming over and jumping in with us. Tonight is Men Monday. This is where the men communicate. And I am trying to find my brothers. If y'all would, ladies, find 5 men on your account, and let's shoot this out to them to let them know that what's going on this evening. Okay. So let's invite them out to the live so that they can get it. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to invite this. I know how to do this. I'm going to invite my other account, and then I'm going to go on that account and share this live on that one. That's what I'm going to do. Coach Mike James, And Bama, y'all in the wrong account. Y'all should be in the at the New Black Church. Come over to this account, Bama, and thank you for inviting your boy out too, Bama. Um, come over to this account right here. Come over to this account right here. This is where we are tonight. We're at the New Black Church.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening. How you doing? Now I
I
will turn up that name. Help me out real quick.
Valhalla Dad.
Valhalla Dad. I was gonna say Van Halen because that was one of my bands back in the day.
Oh, you know what? Depending, are we talking Sammy Hagar days or?
Man, I'm talking mullet and eighth grade sock out. That's what I'm.
They were out before my time.
Oh, they was out before your time.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm 32, but I grew up listening to it because of my dad.
you did. Oh man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Man, I appreciate you jumping in. We're doing a new series, and we're moving everything over from my other account over to this one. Um, and so yeah, we're talking about self-respect. We doing a 11-month series over self, so
Okay.
that
What?
the goal
Good
is.
evening. Good evening.
What's
Good
up,
evening.
Bama? We get 12 months on ourselves. 11 months on ourselves. Next year, we can finally say, I spent a whole year dedicated to me.
Okay.
And I would love to see how you are in March this year and then how you are in March next year. And so that'll be totally awesome. So the topic tonight, let me move myself out the way. The topic tonight is what is self-respect and why is it important for a man? Now, and on this platform here, everybody know we're always correct. Can't say anything wrong. We talk about ourselves. I give you about 5 to 8 seconds to mention women or a group of men or a group of women, and then we got to rear that thing right back in and come back to ourselves. Because I promise you, there is something amazing about you that we all can learn from. And what we do is try to share that and encourage that. Okay. And so this is what we like to do. Chris, Twilight Zone, you in the wrong one. You're supposed to be in the other count, the one you like to date. Exactly. I appreciate you. So y'all got your boy running 2 lives at the same time. I didn't know I had
Ooh.
that skill. But Bahala, what
Yeah.
does that self-respect? Okay. Now with me, keep in mind self-respect. Majority of my answers, my questions are going to come back to you. Okay, by being self. Now, what is self-respect to you, and why is that important for you as a man?
It's for me. It's holding values and not
Okay,
wavering from those values.
okay, I like that.
And it's important to me because not only is it good for myself to stay within my values and not lose sight of who I am, but I have a 15-year-old daughter, an 8-year-old son, and a 2-year-old son. To show them how important it is to hold and stick to your values, even though the rest of the world wants to bring you down.
I love that, and I so appreciate the way that you made that personal. Okay, now what are some examples of those values?
It could be, I mean, anything. Let's say, we'll go with stealing.
Okay,
I've never I've never shoplifted in my life before because my value is if I can't afford it, I'm going to work for it.
I like
I'm
that.
not going to go take it. So me teaching them that is within my self-respect because I need to push this on for future generations. Within my self-respect because I need.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Bama, what you got for me?
Well, good evening. Good evening. I missed you, buddy.
Man, I miss you too, man. Hey, I know you had your project that you're working on, and so I totally, totally respect you.
Self-respect. I'm gonna have to go and agree a lot with what the other gentleman said. Is
Okay,
respecting your morals and values and your upbringing.
Okay.
Your respecting your upbringing shows not just the respect for yourself, but where you come from. It shows respect to others as well, like your mother or your father or your grandparents that instilled values into you. And having self-respect for yourself means you know your value.
Right.
You know your boundaries. You know what you will accept and what you won't accept.
Correct. Correct. Um, Man, let me tell you about what you just said in what I pulled out of that. Um, let me see. Let me see. 2019. That's 4 years ago. 25 years in my career, I had little self-respect for myself because I would downplay where I was from and disguise the way that I grew up talking. I would disguise that as soon as I left my community. And I would try to be somebody, I would speak in a way that was not me trying to please and appease other people. Now, I use some of the greatest English that others may call broken English. And it's so funny. I was talking to a customer in Kentucky today, and we were talking about secure score. And I was like, look, I'm stuck at just giving you one consonant and then an R. All my vowels are earth. So that's about the best I'm gonna get you. And they were like, Duran, you talking about guys who ride tractors and drive big trucks in the country. We can't talk about the way nobody say nothing. And I so much appreciated that. And that's a space that I'm becoming a lot more comfortable in, is being able to speak that way about myself. Right? Okay. So Bama, if you would expound on some of those values a little bit more for me.
Values, there's a lot of values. Values as a single person, values as being a man. Um, I would have to say, respecting others is a big value. Showing respect to others. Uh, Being kind and generous. Uh, Showing humility, not being so prideful. Um, Man, I can list a bunch.
Okay, now this is my question. Are you that way toward other people and slash or you're that way toward Bama first and then other people?
I'm that way with myself and then others. Because I
Okay.
have to be able to do it to myself to be able to give it to others.
Exactly. And let me tell you, when I experience it myself, I do not need my trifocal to see somebody else share that with me and then me share it with somebody else. So I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that one. I totally agree with you on that one. Okay, now staying within the theme of self-respect, and we're talking about it, and why is it important to men? The question is, um, how did you get to the point where you are today, to where you're respecting yourself the way you are? Um, when did that transition take place?
Who you asking? Me or him?
Both. Anyone
Go
can
ahead.
speak up.
Go ahead, buddy. I'll let you go first.
I think I got to that place by falling down a lot. I think one of the best quotes I ever read was on a T-shirt, and it said, "To be old and wise, you first must be young and stupid."
Facts. I
So
love that.
so I take that as everything that life gives you, you can either be a victim to it or you could take it as a lesson. And how do you take that lesson or whatever bad, negative or positive things life gave you, and how do you turn it around to grow from that and be a better man in the future?
I totally agree with that. Now, I don't live in a happy bubble no more. I'm just happy because I live with unicorns and rainbows.
And what that means is there is a field across these 48 United States full of unicorns. The question is, are the unicorns acting like me? Because I see the unicorns. The question is, can they see themselves as unicorns? So I live in a very happy place. Um, I don't make mistakes. I have opportunities to learn from what I just went through. That's the way I love saying that. So I love what you said, and I'm going to spread that additional word because we have more um, people my age that say to younger people, "Don't make this mistake. Don't do this. Don't do this." But the question is, how are they supposed to learn? Like you said, if you don't do it, I shared
Right.
this lesson um, yesterday. Or was it today? Yesterday. Saturday, my son decided that, Dad, I want to make a piece of myself in the oven. Bet, I got you. So I was right there with him. He put it in the pan, did a great job. Grabbed the towels, took it out the oven, great job. Set the towels down and grabbed the hot pan with his hand. Bad job. Woo, he jumped them fingers back so quick. And the first thing I did was ran straight to the refrigerator, got some country crock butter, and put some on his fingertips. You know what I'm saying? To soothe those blisters so they don't come up. Right? Came back around yesterday. He was like, Dad, you should do it. Why? So I burnt myself. No, bro, you got this. You made it all the way up until the point where at the end. Yesterday he did. He took his time, bam, killed it, sliced it up and everything, ate his pizza. I look up, I'm on a work call today. He done took it out, cut it up. He over there eating, watching his phone. If I were to steal that lesson away from him, he would not know the value of that.
Right.
Now, some people, go ahead.
I think that's something a lot of parents kind of falter at nowadays is we want to protect our children so much because of what we don't let them fall.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't want to get them to a point where they're going to be absolutely, hurt, need hospitalization, risk their life. But hey, they fall, they're not going to do that again.
Exactly. And that's what I'm real big on. When I challenge parents that I meet, I ask them without telling them. I don't tell people what to do. I mastered how to ask the correct question. So I asked them, do you love your journey that got you to where you are today? And people share with me how their journey was. Then I asked the question, are you okay with your kids living their best journey because you did yours? How about experiencing their journey versus potentially stealing it? Sometimes that's when the light bulb goes off like, whoa, maybe I should protect my kid. I didn't say that, you did. It's off me at that point because they said it out loud. And so, okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, so hanging around this topic right here because I got two more topics for tonight, and it's about 8:25. So we still got about another 20:35. Yes, my whole childhood, my parents would put me in a cage and to keep me safe and not stop me from living. That is such a fact. I learned about life at 31. That's when my sister transitioned. And when she transitioned, that's when I pulled the blinders off that my family had over my eyes. My sister raised me, long story short, the way that I found out that she passed was through a phone call. Now, they didn't tell me that when I walked out the hotel, I'm not the hotel room, the hospital room, they pulled the plug because they wanted to protect the way I was going to feel and didn't want me to drive home with that. Right? And I decided that day that if you all do not treat me like an adult, don't y'all ever reach out to me again.
I
Yeah,
heard that.
yeah. We have to live with heartache and
Yes.
and learn how to grow and how to heal from it. Otherwise, if you never experience it, hey, there's something I heard a while back is, I told my fiance this because she went through a dark patch in her life, and she's out, got out of it now. And one of the sayings I said is, basically, you went through a form of hell and you got pulled out of it.
Right.
And I was basically saying is I got pulled out of hell just so I can walk back into the fire and help pull others out. But if you don't experience that kind of stuff, then it's hard to help others and help guide them.
You just described my podcast.
Should co-host.
That is exactly what I do on Sunday, is encourage someone to share how they pulled themselves out of that situation. Because that story that they share, that like example, what you just shared helped pull me out of a situation. Because it's so irrelevant. I mean, it's so relevant. Yep. X-Space 99 said, not allowing kids to be kids and make small mistakes can rob them of their childhood. I'm learning more and more. The one thing about the company that I work for, if you do not, quote unquote, make mistakes or learn from what you grow through, you won't be there too long.
There's a saying I like.
Okay.
It says, you learn little from victory, but you can learn so much more from defeat.
Yep.
And Faith,
I'm not gonna lie.
Darrell, Faith is my wife.
Exactly. Oh, that is her.
Yes,
I
sir.
just realized that. I was like, I know this name. That's right. Family, y'all so sweet to me.
She can get. Hey, we're ready to do the couples night now. She can go live.
She can? Okay, cool. That is the goal, is to get couples in on Thursday. Man, thank y'all so much. You know what? I don't know how I'm going to spin this, but I'm going to make that statement that you just made at work, because we get so caught up on being compromised, but sometimes getting compromised at work is a good thing, because what you thought was solid isn't, and now we know how to go and make it even better to where it is solid, and now we have a better lens to see other things that are going on. Okay. I like that. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, so I got to fix this other one. And while I'm in the midst of that, going to the second topic, well, no, maybe not, because the box is smaller now. Let me go over to effects. This one. There it is. So, now that we know that, like, self-respect, we have our definition, and we talked about our values. Our values are very important. I love the fact that you all said, where you from? Teaching our kids that those values, and self come first. I give those values to myself, and then I'm able to exemplify those values out. Okay, so self is such a powerful word, and respect is another word. Compounding them together make those two very strong. Was that the bleeping noise that you get in trouble with on TikTok?
I didn't.
Okay. I think I heard the beeping noise. How does self-respect differ from self-esteem or self-confidence?
I think they actually really tie in pretty well together.
Okay, go for it.
I mean, if you have respect for yourself, it's the way you carry yourself. So therefore, confidence and self-esteem follows as well.
Okay.
Because like for me, it's like, all right, so I got my values. This is what, I stand for. I don't care what anyone else thinks about my values. I'm going to hold true to them. Now, I don't care what anyone else thinks of me too, because if I let someone question my values and I waver from those and my self-respect, then I'm not fully there.
Correct.
So my confidence goes out the window, and then now my self-esteem goes out the window, because now I'm wondering, is this who I really am?
Correct. I totally agree with you. And
I like the way that you put those together. Man, y'all are making this really super duper easy tonight. Um, because you're right there living in it, and you're right on top of it. Okay, Bam, what do you have to say?
I like this guy. I don't know where he's from, but by God, he's on
No,
something. Come on.
no, man, I am enjoying
Like,
them.
like me as a man, you know, I was raised into a man. So everything that was
Okay,
instilled into me, you know, you fall down, you get back up, you cowboy up, keep your chin up, no matter what. You know, uh, I I've never cared about what people thought of me, because when my wife goes grocery shopping, she picks up no PHUCKs at the grocery store. Okay,
right.
she picks up no fucks at the grocery store for me. I've always had the mentality, if you don't like me, I'm not gonna lose no sleep over it. I've always had a good confidence, self-esteem, because I started rodeoing at a young age. And if you didn't have confidence when you got on back of that bull, you was probably going to eat the dirt.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
guess
that sounds painful.
activities and sports gave me it allowed me to learn to have confidence and my self-esteem in myself, because I was able to do something others weren't able to do. It's a mindset. Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Exactly, exactly. And that mind thing is something else when we allow it to be bigger than what it should be. And so I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that one. And so with knowing that and having the self respect, having the self esteem and or the self confidence. Now it was said that all three of those work together. How have they worked in tandem in like y'all lives? Like, give me a couple examples where you stood up for your self respect, but then when you stood up for your respect, your self esteem was challenged or your self confidence was challenged. And then, if you don't mind, one where you won at it and one where you learned a lesson at it, you came back and won after the fact.
Oh, now you're making me really think.
You need a minute? I'll go.
Yeah, you go ahead and go, because I don't think I got nothing right now.
Okay.
When I was young, when I was younger, I worked at a job. I was a ranch hand. The
Okay.
boss hired me, and he told me, "Hey, I'll give you raises and whatever. You have to respect yourself to be able to respect others. Number one. So I'm all about a man being a man of his word. So when I've been there almost a year, and I asked for a raise, it was, and he's like, "Well, let me think about it." And then a few weeks later, I told him, I was going to work a 2 week notice, which I really didn't have a 2 week notice. I didn't have a job yet. I just let him know I've been looking for another job to better myself. And he's like, "Well, if you stay, I'll pay you this." In my mind, I'm thinking, why wasn't I worth it then when I asked you for it, but I'm worth it now?
Right.
All right. Um. So him telling me he couldn't do it right now, maybe it challenged. Am I a hard enough worker to get a raise? In my mind. And once I analyzed it, I had to call his bluff. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Man, that is a real scenario to where you had to stand up for yourself and have that self confidence. Um, there's one that I still deal with till this day, and I cannot wait until I get over it. Love to sing, love to sing. And there was a point in my life where I believed I could sing until my older sibling, my older brother, would tell me so much to shut up, you can't sing, shut up, you can't sing, shut up, you can't sing. Until the point where if I'm paying attention, my confidence goes so low it sounds horrible. But if I'm not paying attention, I heard I can sound like a songbird. And so that that piece right, non-government assignment. So therefore, I wasn't able to look at the infrastructure. It was just a conversation we were having about what was going on, and I got intimidated at first because of the agencies that were coming together. But then I had to step back and like, wait a minute, Duran, you're the number one slash number two person, depending on who you ask, that talks about this topic. No, they have the right person. And that's when my confidence kicked back in. And it was an amazing conversation because I was able to be technical and still country and funny at the same time. And I brought a different approach in the IT arena. And that was an amazing call. And so that's the thing about self-respect and respecting ourselves first. As we continue, Queen for Life, you're a moderator also. I did that before the live started. I had made you a moderator. And so it's great that we build that self-esteem, that self-respect up, because it just layers out over so much. It's kind of like, how many of y'all grew up eating sheet cake? Well, mama make a big old pan, it's a big old cake, and she cut it into little squares or rectangles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then either she used the Betty Crocker icing, or she used the homemade sugar icing, powdered sugar. Either way, powdered sugar with sour cream. That cream cheese and powdered sugar. That icing is the best. And so that's the thing about it is we spread self-respect across, and that increases our self-esteem and or our self-confidence. Okay? So, what else can we add to self-respect when we're looking at it? Now, question. How do they differ? They all line up together, right? They work in tandem together. What is unique about each one of these three here that begin with self?
See, for me, my self-confidence came not only from falling down a lot, but when I was a kid, I got put in Boy Scouts.
Okay,
and
nice.
So you got the scout leader and the assistant scout leader. One was a Marine veteran, the other one was a SEAL veteran. They worked us like crazy. I mean, we're talking 12 years old, and we were just let out into the woods by ourselves. And we learned a lot of lessons and how to be confident in our survival skills.
That's good.
Because we were in situations, I've been in a situation before where I fell into a river in the middle of February. And my buddies at 12 years old got me out, built a fire, said, hey, you got to strip down, get all your clothes off, start doing push-ups. Otherwise, you're going to get hypothermia. And we're 12 years old. And I was able to do that with another guy who was suffering heat stroke in the middle of the summer. And we're children. And we got that confidence instilled in us because they didn't helicopter over us and, make sure, you're going to go do this event. No, go out in the woods, experience life, learn how to survive together. And it boosted me and, as a man, and I didn't even realize that until I was an older age.
That's awesome, bro. I was afraid of the woods, so I did not do that a lot. Now I would go to the creek in the country to go swimming, but that was about it. That was about it for me.
I was a Boy Scout too, and I'm country and cornbread. So, like, I don't know. I guess just growing up around horses and being thrown off of stuff and getting hurt myself and getting back up and being able to keep going gave me myself confidence and being able to achieve a goal I was working at gave me my self-esteem when I conquered the goal.
Perfect. I like that. It's man, uh, you all had something extremely in common. That I don't want to say country growing up, but it's country, and I love it.
Yeah,
I'm still telling people that we're over here, but go ahead.
yeah. I mean, it's two different lifestyles. I mean, growing up out in the sticks versus being in the city, and you can learn these lessons either environment basically, but you also get different lessons too.
Right. Yeah, they're some of values lessons. Now, I love the fact what your scout troop did, and to even know those type of skills is amazing at 12 years old.
It's
I'm still having a conversation with my son. Lace up your shoes before somebody push you over somebody else, and you fall down, your feet up in the air, your shoes gone. So, um, yeah, I'm still trying to get him there. If he want to walk around with these shoes on that cost all his money, not laced up all the way, and then popping in and off his feet, I'm like, sir, that is not the brightest thing to do there, kid. That can
Oh,
get
that's
you in,
great.
that there can get you in trouble. Uh, man, I'm gonna have to invite these people over here and then to
Well,
come
I
over.
got, I got, I got a question for you, Darrell.
Go ahead. Say, man, hi. When did I say my middle name?
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I told you my full name. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get you
Sorry,
for that one.
sorry, amigo.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That
Uh,
means your family. If you
that's
use
right.
that name, that means your family.
I'm,
But go ahead.
hey,
What's your question?
I'm your redhead stepbrother.
Let's say, man, you my redheaded real brother.
I
The,
hear
the, the
you. All
DNA
right.
is
Yeah.
way down there together somewhere.
So, my question is, I'm gonna throw you one.
Okay, go ahead.
How and where in life did you find the self-esteem and self-confidence, and did it build your self-respect?
So the last question is loaded, and I'm going to say yes, and this is why. When did I find it? I found it. I think. When did I meet Derek? I met Derek in the seventh grade, so I was probably. Was it Derek or was it at Marcellus Missionary Baptist Church with Grandmama? It was between going to church with Grandmama on second Sunday with the youth choir. I think it was at Truly Missionary. That was around 12 because I met Derek in junior high school. Um, I was in the choir stand. It was second Sunday, and like I said, I can't remember which one it was, but I do remember it was second Sunday because it was youth Sunday. And I was in the choir stand, and I was someone that was raised by my sister. I didn't get a bunch of I love yous from my mom growing up because she worked all the time and she takes care of business at the house. And I saw all this stuff going around me at church, and I got tired of feeling bad for myself. And so I decided that Sunday that I am going to become the biggest clown that I can become. I'm going to make myself laugh. I'm going to make everybody laugh. I'm going to make a name for myself. That's when I decided. That's when my self confidence and that's when my self esteem started building up. Now, that was between then, that was in the seventh grade because I was a little dude. I was like 5'3". That summer came and I went from 5'3" to 6'1". So I went from a short guy who couldn't play basketball to the tall guy that was okay playing basketball, right? But what I could do was run. And Ronaldo Nehemiah and Greg Foster were my heroes in running track. They ran the 110 high hurdle. So my 8th grade year, my self-esteem and self-confidence shot through the roof. My first track meet in prelims, I set a record. I broke that record in the finals. At one point in junior high school, the 8th grade, I held every track meet that we went to record, and I held the state record. You really couldn't tell me much. Plus, I could jump out the fence. And so, taking that going into high school, I went to our rival high school. I'm talking about like if we were to meet up and boys would engage in what we engage in, yeah, that's the school I went to. So I was terrified at this school. But then, long story short, my freshman year, we won one of the biggest track meets, and I ran first leg, and I was on the front of the Dallas Times Herald newspaper. Ever since then, my head was beat. But what I didn't have was self-respect for myself. I had self-confidence and I had self-esteem. I just started living in the best self-respect for Durant. It's been building all these years. But I would say 2021 is when I really started putting in the work. And I want to say I really started respecting myself. And I'm so honest honestly when I say this. Is when I got off the live last year for my birthday on Christmas. I said, if that many people appreciate Durant, I got to start appreciating Durant like that. And that's when I started respecting myself even more. So it's been for the last couple of months is where I really started putting in the work to respect myself. Great question. I appreciate that, Bram.
You're welcome, man.
So y'all looking back on that stuff, yeah, man, I had the confidence. I had the self-esteem. But the great thing about it, those were the things I was great in. I didn't have it in the classroom because, I could do math extremely well. So I got tired of getting in trouble in class. So I just shut down. I got to the point to where I was going to do just enough to get out y'all class so I can quit getting talked about for being smart.
I think that's a lot of problems the schools have too. Is they down the whole self-esteem thing.
Mm-hmm.
My 8-year-old is not good in school. I mean, reading comprehension, writing, stuff like that. He just shuts down. And the schools, of course, bring that up. They're like, oh, well, he's not good at this. He's not good at this. They're so used to telling what he's not good at.
Right.
But and everyone's concerned about that. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this kid is just amazingly naturally mechanically inclined. Last winter, I bought a snowblower from a flea market. Worked at the flea market, got it home, first snowfall, didn't start. I couldn't figure it out. He comes out, Dad, what are you doing? I was like, trying to start the snowblower. And he goes, maybe the gas turned to ice. I kind of look at him side-eyed and then start feeling the gas line. And I'm like, wow, I've been out here for an hour and a half trying to figure this out. And this kid walks out here 5 minutes and yeah, the gas line's frozen.
That reminds me of Sling Blade. You know what wrong with it? Ain't got no gas in it.
But the thing is they down that self-confidence and that self-esteem because he's so used to being told what he's not good at. But maybe that's not his path in life. Maybe something with mechanics, building, that's his path forward.
That's awesome that you recognize that. It's that's straight up awesome that you pick up on it. And then that reminds me of one of my favorite shows, Young Sheldon. And Sheldon gets all the attention, right? But then his older brother, which was the challenge kid, finally became good at putting tires on cars, right? And they wouldn't recognize him for that, but his boss did, the neighbor. The neighbor was like, I forgot his name, but he was like, he has a gift, like he just know how to do this, right? No training, no nothing. He just know how to do it. And he lifted him up in that. And so the dad and Sheldon big brother got into it because the dad would not see him for who he is. And as parents, we do that. Um, my son, I get up, I'm up at that school. If it's something that he comes home, I let him know. If something goes wrong in school, you say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, no, sir, leave it alone. You come and tell me, and I will go up there and say all the stuff that you want to go say. To see if I say it, it would not affect my grades. You say it will affect your grades, and you will end up and lose your lunch, your playtime, and everything else being detention. And so, yes, we keep it wrapped up in that space and keeps him wrapped around that. And if you're following me on, if you're in the live on the at Duran Waters account, come over here and join us at the New Black Church, where your Bible is your story. I mean, where your story is your Bible, and you can jump into the conversation, and then you can see the questions that we have up on the screen. It is the New Black Church, THENEWBLACK Church. Come over here and join us. And I like the fact that Queen said that she was talking about that part. Okay. So now let's go ahead and jump into this last question, and then we can talk about. We'll wrap this up. Then we can open up the floor and talk about whatever that you all want to. Let me try to use this. I went and bought me a Mac computer, and I did not know that if my iPad is close to my Mac, my mouse will go from my computer to this iPad.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea it would do that.
I don't know nothing about Mac.
I'm
I've touched a computer since high school.
I'm probably one of the worst. Yeah, I tell everyone I'm the worst millennial. I don't know how to work technology. I got to have my kids work my phone when I first get it and show me.
I hear that saying a lot. What in the world is a millennial?
It's where I think it's anyone born. I think it's like 86 to 96. It's the generation.
Oh, well, I guess I'm with Generation X where all the overtime I got.
I don't know who. All I know is that everybody is amazing.
Everybody is awesome.
There you go. Everybody is awesome. That's what I know, and that's the piece that I would talk about when it comes to us as individuals. Now we know what self-respect means to us and affects us, how it affects men. And as a man, then we know the differences between self-respect, self-esteem, and self. I forgot that one. I quit. Self-respect, self-esteem. I just saw the question. What's the last?
Self-respect, self-esteem, and self-confidence.
Self-confidence, the big word. Okay, so now we know what all three of those are, right? The difference between those. Now, what are some common ways that you might compromise your self-respect?
I think maybe backing down from a fight sometimes because you know the fight's not worth it. But you just I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because you know what, I'm not gonna even get into this. It's not worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just being a bigger person, I believe. And you're still showing yourself self-respect because you know the fight ain't worth it. You know, that's why we was always told when we was younger to pick our battles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes it's hard.
It can be. It can be. There is a journey into picking battles. I can tell you now, I win every battle with a woman. Every last one of them. I figured it out. She right. I finally figured it out.
Negative, Ghost Rider. Negative.
So I got a funny story about that. So my buddy at work, he turned 40 this year, and I told my lady over the phone, I said, hey, I got to go to Build-A-Bear. I'm going to make him the weirdest birthday gift ever. I'm going to make him a Build-A-Bear, put my voice in it. I'll probably get kicked out of Build-A-Bear for what I'll say in it. And she goes, you're going to go to work or you're going to go to Build-A-Bear, make him a bear. You haven't even bought me flowers yet in our relationship and this and that. And I said, you know what? I said, I want you to go walk in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and see that necklace around your neck and tell me I didn't do nothing for you. She lives about 45 minutes away from me. 50 minutes later, she's at my door giving me a hug saying, I'm sorry, you were right. I was like, can I? I'm never going to forget this moment.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. Yeah, that's the creative mind. Just the human being to come up. I never thought of doing that in Build a Bear. Queen said that's the quickest way to upset a woman, right? So for me, what I mean by that, right, is because the way you grew up, you're the only person that know that. And so without me having as much information that you have, coming up with your conclusion with that statement, I have to ride with what you say. Because for me to battle that means that, so let's say Queen, I think Queen is like in her 20s. Let's just call it easy 25, right? I don't think Queen 22, I think. Somewhere around 22, 23. But let's just call it 25, right? Just for the sake of numbers. Queen is 25. I've only known Queen since 21. I thought she was super young. 21. Queen is 21. I've only known Queen for like 4 to 5 months. Since like November, actually, is when I met Queen. And so I only know 4 months of Queen. Queen knows 21 years. Queen knows how that comes together. And so for me to say, well, no, you view that wrong. No, you don't view it wrong. Now, what I will do is, if I'm like, you know what? Have you thought about this, and this, and this? That's a little bit different than, I just never been a big fan of telling adults you're wrong by the way you view life. Especially when I don't have as much information as you do about your life. It's more so of, hey, go do it. Let's see what happens. But I'm right in everything that I say. Now, does everybody like it? No. Okay? But that's okay. Everyone is not supposed to like every page in my book, in every sentence, in every paragraph. But at least like something besides the title. And so, but yeah. What are some common ways that compromise their self-respect? The way that I used to compromise my personal self-respect was, even when I knew somebody did not care about what they was doing, I still would go above and beyond and get upset when they flopped on. Meaning, like, I knew somebody growing up that I just believed in them so much, I kept pushing them when they didn't push themselves. And so I was compromising myself trying to encourage somebody else to become better who did not want to be encouraged.
Well,
So
yeah, you can't.
go ahead.
You can't help someone that refuses to help themselves. All you're going to do is destroy your energy, and they're going to be fine.
Exactly. They're going to go to sleep in peace. I'm going to go to bed. I was stressed out because I put in all this work and this effort trying to let them know how amazing that they are and stuff like that. And yeah, it felt like, water off a duck's back. And so I'm like, man, I'm not doing that no more. I meet people where they are, and I look at, okay, they doing this part right. That's what we're going to concentrate on. I'm not going too high, too low. I'm staying right there at what they're amazing at. Because that way, that's the piece. If they say they like something about them, that's what I'm going to go with. Now, I'm going to challenge with questions to say other things that are amazing about them, so I can pick it back up like, hey, you said that, not me. And so I like that piece. What are some other ways that you ran into a Bama on, like, ways that you compromise yourself? I'm going to say back in the day, because I know you're not.
Well, I mean, I'm not perfect. I still compromise my self-respect today with my way of thinking. Mm-hmm. Because people get, especially if you're trying to do something or trying to achieve something, or you're working hard on something, or just life, period. A person can get into a mindset where they think of themselves not good enough, or they don't deserve something, or they can't do something. Everybody's mind does that sometime or another in their life. And it's being able to get out of that thinking and control, defeat your mind. Your mind's your worst enemy. Being able to tell yourself and fight your mind and reassure yourself that about self-love. This is who I am. That ain't who I am. That's my mind messing with me, or that's the enemy, or whatever spiritual identity you think it is. Like,
Right.
You have to go back to your roots. No, I'm great. I'm a bad mamma jamma from Alabama, and that's just the way it is. Like,
That you are.
like and that's another good thing that comes with like good friends and surrounding people that are positive in your life, because people in negativity will always find excuses and find the crutch or find an escape route where they don't make it in life. Bring those positive people, you'll be a positive person.
Yep.
So that goes all the way to your friends, your family members, your significant other. People in your life should uplift you and encourage you, because we all have those mindsets at times where we think negative about ourselves, especially when things don't go right or we're struggling. Because life is just one big struggle.
That's like the saying goes: show me who your friends are, and I'll show you your true self.
Yep. I like that.
So I guess that's where a person can compromise their self-respect.
I like that. Surely can. Mr. Fully Focused, how you doing this evening?
I'm blessed. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I you know what? I'm blessed also. Having a great conversation over self-respect. We hit a couple of topics here. The first topic was, what does self-respect mean to you? Right? And then the second one is, what does self-respect mean to you? And then how do you apply it to your life? The second one is, what is, or is there a difference between self-respect, self-confidence, and self-esteem? Right? And then now we're transitioning right into, what are some common ways that you may compromise your self-respect?
All right. Yeah. That is a lot to judge. So self-respect, what it is to me is when, it's thank you, baby. It is integrity, right? It's how we carry ourselves in the presence of others and outside of the presence with others. That's self-respect. So I have to respect myself to be who I am amongst everybody else, even if that's contrary to who they are.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about, is there a difference between self-respect, self-confidence? No, is self-respect different from self-confidence and self-esteem?
Yes. Yeah. So self-confidence is you knowing that you're capable of doing or being who you feel you are or what you know you do. Right. And not letting somebody else talk you out of or minimize, what you believe. And then self-esteem is, so self-esteem is being able to not allow yourself to look at what's missing or what you're lacking and feel, less confidence about yourself.
Okay. And now, do all three of them work together? And then either one of them say yay or nay. Give us some examples of how they were applied in your life.
Yeah, I believe they all three work together.
Okay.
They go hand in hand. And I apply it to my life. So since I respect myself and then I have confidence in myself, I don't have, low self-esteem. I think highly of myself, but not too highly of myself.
Okay, okay. Bama, when I say y'all making this easy tonight, I mean, not giving me much to challenge. I mean, I just love it. It is a presence that I enjoy being in. Now, I'm very selfish. I'm extremely selfish. And what I mean by that, I want at least 10 million people around me who love themselves. Therefore, I got a lot of friends that love themselves. So, yeah, that's what I want around me.
Yeah, it can be draining if people, have a pity party all the time. And when people don't love they self, they tend to take those insecurities and place them on others.
Exactly.
I got a solution to that too, though.
Say that again, Bam.
I got a solution to that too.
Okay.
With people like that.
Okay.
You tell them this right here. Pop that thing out your mouth. You ain't on your mama's thing no more. Time to be a man. Time to grow up.
That is one way of saying that one, Bama. That is one way of putting that one together. I tend to go for, me. I'm going for what they're good at. I'm going for what they're amazing at and what they know how to do. Okay, and so that's what I go for. The real Cadillac, what's going on? That's the one that I really jump into because that's the one that kind of builds them up and puts them to become better. Oh man, you at work?
Yeah, man, that's all I do is work. He said if you ain't about some business, you about some mischief. So I try to stay about that business, brother, man, lady.
You do? Are you in Dallas?
Sir?
Are you in Dallas?
A janitor?
No, are you in Dallas? In
No, San Antonio.
Oh, okay. No, for the understanding. I used to live down going to Plano. I used to live by the Toyota in Plano.
I hear running water or something going on.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to cook myself dinner. I did 12 and a half hours at work today.
Oh, I understand that. That's okay.
Now, I was trying to figure out, Bella said cornbread and you cooking dinner. I didn't know who was cooking.
Well, look, God bless y'all, man. And look, I'll catch you next week. And next week, I go back to working days. I work days for 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I'll be able to catch you in the evenings. Unlike now, I'm in the middle of it right now trying to get these trucks finished.
Oh, man, bless you so much for just coming up here to say hi, Cadillac. I appreciate you.
I got to. Look, anybody that's speaking life into my life and allow me to speak life into theirs, I got to stand in that position or I'm dead wrong, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, Cadillac.
Hey, bless y'all. Y'all have a blessed night.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Man, that's everything to me. That means...
There you go. Bama making cornbread. Bama, why'd you say making that cornbread?
I call making money cornbread.
Oh, you call it cornbread. Ooh. So
how everybody says you gotta get your bag and you gotta make that moolah, that paper. I say I gotta make that cornbread.
Ooh, now is that Jiffy cornbread?
That's homemade cornbread.
That's homemade cornbread. Now, is that hot water cornbread or is that the kind with the grease in the pan where it bubbles up at the bottom?
Grease in the pan with some buttermilk. Come on.
There you go. Okay. Just trying to figure it out.
So I made cornbread about a week or two ago for the first time ever.
Don't make me hungry, y'all. I'm in a truck.
Well, here's the thing. My woman said it tasted like drywall, so I needed to get your guys' cornbread recipe because I got to prove her wrong that I could tell her I could do this.
Where you from?
I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh, if I was you, I'd just stick with Jiffy.
All right.
Man, hey, get some Jiffy, put a little sugar in it. Man,
you never know. Chop up the jalapenos and little peppers, put in it. You have Mexican cornbread.
She goes, "Did you put honey in this?" I was like, "No, it didn't say in the box." And she's like, "Oh, people put honey in cornbread."
That is too
y'all
funny.
Y'all gonna make me hungry. Look, I'm in a truck until Friday, eating truck stop food and snacks in the truck. Y'all, no, I don't think so.
So you said you were from Dallas?
Yes, born and raised in Dallas. I'm in Florida now.
All right, so I used to live in Allen.
Okay.
So the funniest thing, I think I was in Plano or McKinley, and the funniest thing, because I know you guys, when you guys get an inch of snow, everything shuts down. And I had to go to Walmart, so I'm driving, and a cop pulls me over, thinking I was drinking or something, and he's like, it's dangerous to be out here. I looked at him, I said, officer, I was born and raised in Chicago. He just looked at me and said, have a good day.
Hey, riding on ice and snow is like riding in wet red mud. It's easy as all get out.
Honey Dean, what is going on? What is going on?
So,
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. So, how does this is a question for you? I know you don't like talking about this, Mr. Black Church, New Black Church. Trying not to call you by your name. How, as a man, how does having self-respect, self-esteem, and what was the other one? Self-confidence play, and is it a big part of being in a relationship?
Oh, it's a huge part. In a
Oh, yeah.
relationship. It plays a major, major role because just all three alone as individuals, if I don't have those for myself, I'm more than likely not going to exemplify those to the blessing that I've been blessed with. And so that's going to be a little bit of challenge. And so, I'm going to do for me first before anybody else do, right? When I get up in the morning. So that self-respect, I'm going to respect myself by letting myself know I love you, Dwayne. And then I'm going to go and take care of myself. And this morning, I had to respect the weights in the gym and have the self-confidence to go over to the other machine and lift on the machine versus free weights because I'm methodical. I think things through. And if it doesn't look the way it's supposed to, I do not do it because I've messed up my shoulder before bench pressing. And so the bar was twisted a little bit in the bench, and I kept moving the bench. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to respect this bench. There's a reason why they have these other machines in here, and we're going to go over there and use those today. And with me being able to do that, I did that then. Immediately, my first call this morning, the customer was like, look, Wi-Fi is out at like all my schools right now. We can't do our meeting today. I was able to be confident and be respectful, right? To them. And then my lady friend called me and encouraged me, not really encouraged me, but she appreciated me for the things that she liked me for. And I was like, oh, that was so sweet. By me having self-respect for my first, having self-confidence, and having self-esteem by knowing what she was expressing to me was really me. It was pretty awesome that she took the time out to recognize who I am as a person. My self-esteem was able to receive that. In October of 2021, my self-esteem would not receive a compliment like that. And so, yes, excellent question. Now, what about you, fam? Same question back at you.
Oh man, how you gonna do me like that? That ain't the name of the game. All right. I believe you're right. It has every. You have to have it to be in a healthy relationship. Period. Self-respect. If you don't respect yourself and love yourself, how are you going to love anybody else?
Exactly.
Number one. Number two. If you're not confident as a man in being able to do things in life, to achieve things, to protect, to hold down the fort, to do what you gotta do as a man, that woman needs you to be confident in yourself. We're warriors, by gosh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and having self-respect and self-confidence builds your self-esteem, especially when you have a good woman that and she adores you, and she's your safe space. That builds up your self-esteem. So I think it all goes together in a relationship.
Oh, yes, it does. It's
Yeah, I think that's
having.
nice.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No.
I think that's nice to have because I think as guys, we're not supposed to get compliments. And we're supposed to give them to our lady. And it's weird, when you get one. You're just like, what's wrong? Almost. But like you start learning once you get to that point that like, you know what? You're right. Like I'll tell my lady all the time. These are the things I appreciate about you. But she'll fire that back at me, even at random times. And it just, even when you're feeling down that day, because we all have our struggles, we can't be 100% all the time. But it's those little moments that are like, you know what? I got this. I can do this.
I totally agree. Like I say, I just, let me see, October 2021, I got my award in August. No, that was 2020. My manager reached out to me. She was super excited because I got a big award at work. And my response was, "Who told you to go do that?" I didn't ask for that. But she was like, "Well, you do such an amazing job. I do what I'm supposed to go do." I couldn't even recognize the fact that. Well, I said this. I couldn't even celebrate myself. Because one, I didn't really know what I was doing. I celebrate myself. The way others, based off similar to the way others celebrated me, right? Fast forward, today, I celebrate myself so much that I'm like, I see what they're seeing now because I saw it this morning or I saw it another day. It makes sense that they say this about me now. And that helps me when I get those hard moments. I'm about, I'm going to say 97% positive majority of the time. I'm way up there. I'm striving for that day that I go from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. 24 hours straight positive. I am so looking forward to those two multiple days back to back, like that, because they're doable. It's being in love with myself 24 hours a day and respecting myself and having and performing self-care, having high self-esteem, having self-respect, self-determination, self-affirmation. Once we go through these 11 months, I see next year I'm going to step it up some more.
I'm gonna be a Spartan after these 11 months. We keep this up.
I am so excited for these 11 months. I explain it so often. I am on this journey too. I am included in this journey. We're all doing it together. There's something, okay, so during the self-respect and stuff like that, I look at it like I had my first child at 30, at 40, and Haley at 44. And was it correct? Yes, because that's the way my life was designed. Thank you, Honey Dean. The more you train your brain to automatically return the positive, that's where it goes. You are so correct. Thank you so much. I had to ran them at such a late point in life, which is correct, that our growth is similar, but then it's different, right? I wonder, is it better to have your children at a younger age because you grow up together? They grow up as a child, and then you grow up as an adult. What are your thoughts on that?
I would look. Me and my wife ain't got kids yet.
Okay.
All right, but in my way of thinking, I think it's better to have children. All right. I know you can't plan everything. All right.
Right.
But I think it's better to have children when the man is a man and knows his responsibilities and priorities and has goals and ambition and has started building his life already. All
Okay.
right, because I was raised if a man can't take care of himself, he has no business with a woman.
Correct.
That's the way I was raised. And a woman is naturally a nurturer. All right. My wife tells me all the time I'm a big kid, but I'm, that's just because she picks up after me and shit, and has to remind me of shit. But if a person is still growing and has not mentally matured, how are they going to instill the
grow up? Force me to think about not just myself, or I have to better myself in order to give my kids a better life. I can't let them stay in what I'm comfortable with right now. So I think I grew a lot faster, and I matured faster having kids. And unfortunately for some people, that's not the case.
and the kids suffer?
Right. You got to realize that once you have a kid, that the life isn't about you anymore. Like, it's important to have those moments for yourself, but everything you do from that point forward is to not only help yourself, but also you have others that depend on you to be a better person.
That's right.
Okay. I like that. So, question. So, you say you didn't have your life together.
No, I was making minimum wage at Burger King at the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
That works. That works. Question. Did that baby have their life together?
No.
So while you were getting your life together, your kids were able to see you get your life together at the same time they were getting their life together
Right.
as a kid. And then you said you was forced to grow up, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. Basically, my life of partying and going out with my friends, that went on the back burner, and I lost a lot of friends. People who said they'd be with me to the end. Well, I can't party because I got to go home and take care of my kids.
Exactly. Okay. Now what about this? So you were forced to grow up. What about your kids? Were they forced at they got to the point to where when they went to childcare and you were 3 and 4 with a diaper on, you got talked about. Versus, or better yet, still not walking at 2 to 3. Not saying this happened, but still not walking at 2 to 3. They were forced to learn how to ask for milk, ask for food, communicate, because they wanted something, right? They were
Right.
forced to do that. They was forced to walk because you got tired of carrying them. So they was forced to learn how to walk. Then they were forced to start picking out their clothes because you got tired of picking them out to a certain point. So were they forced to grow up like you were forced to grow up and separate themselves from things like you were? Now, all of this is coming straight off my head as you say them. I'm connecting these dots for me.
I mean, not really, because I got to a point where real quickly, I was trying to figure out, because one of my main beliefs in life is, like my mom always says, that when there's chaos, I'm always the calmest one in the room.
Okay.
It's because I'm thinking, all right, there's a problem, there's an issue here. How do I get out of this situation? And I got to the point where I was able to have their mother be a stay-at-home mom for the first year and a half of my baby's life. And then from that point on, I mean, we ended up splitting up. But I worked around that. I never actually, up until right now, my 2-year-old goes to daycare only because his mother works there.
Okay.
So like I've actually spent seven, 8 years not having to do the whole daycare thing, which has been great. But I'm now at a point in my life where I could take care of that too.
So I like that. Now, you said your mom said about you, the way you grew up, that if there was a problem, you were the calmest one in the room. And then by you being the calmest one in the room, you were the calm in the storm, that if you saw a problem, you would see a way on how to resolve it, right?
Right, yeah, because I've always tried to figure out how to get out of a situation. You know, feel the emotion afterwards. This is where we're at right now. I need to get out of this. And, you know, especially in emergency situations.
Okay. You opened up sharing that amazing story about your 9-year-old son and that frozen line. He was so now was he as calm as you said it to us when he was like
That kid looked at me like I should already knew what was going on. He like looking at me like, Dad, why didn't you think about that? And when I looked at him and I said, you know what, dude, I think you're right. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember a bigger smile I've seen out of that kid's face. Because he knew I got Dad, but he was a fresh set of eyes to a situation I was already frustrated at because, you know, now my judgment got a little clouded. He walked in and was like, yeah, no, here's your problem. And I was like, hey, shoot, you're going to be doing my oil change next week, by the way, too.
Yeah, he sounds like the spitting image of you.
It's creepy too. It's like you look at a picture of him when, you know, from his age to like when I was, the kid's identical to me. It's weird. I've actually had. It's funny too because when my dad, he'll sit there and, you know, yell my name when he's trying to call his attention, and I'm like, wrong.
Wrong one. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Bam.
I was gonna say that your children are very lucky, you know. I mean, because you was able to mature and put and be the man you needed to be and take care of business. And there's a lot of people out there that don't see it that way when there's a life brought into this world. So I give you respect for that.
Thank you.
Me, on the other hand, I told Mr. New Black Church that I was a heathen growing up. All right, I was. Like, if you met me at 21, 22 years old, by God, I was riding spinning bulls, taking out virgins and bringing back whores, you know, and that's who I was. Like, I mean, that's who I was. Like, I mean, I rodeoed. Like, I traveled, I mean, chasing them buckle bunnies and them rodeos. That's it. And I always wanted a family, but I wasn't going to settle and break down and have children with a woman I wasn't sure I was going to be with forever. Because in my mind, I come from a broken home. Okay?
Okay.
And a child is a product of their environment. A child needs stability. They need nurturing. They need values and morals taught to them. And that gives them a leg up in life. Okay? Mm-hmm. Coming from a broken family with no dad around, me being the oldest boy and a single mama raising 4 kids, I had to grow up quick in a lot of ways and be a role model to my little brothers because their dad wasn't in life.
I think it's different. Like, I mean, so I got 2 divorces under my belt.
Me too.
And kids with 2 different women. And yeah, there's a lot of stress, heartache, and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, I would go through, if I go back in time, I would go through it again just for my kids. And right now, it's I think maybe even after like a marriage.
I think Bahala's dad phone run.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, I just think, like, it was hard for me being in a broken family coming up. Like, there's things emotionally that it did to me. You know? And I had to heal from that and grow from that. You know? And
See,
That-
okay, now I got two dads that love me.
Okay. See, that's a blessing there. They have two dads that love you. Mahala's dad, did we lose you again?
No, you got me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
There we
because
go.
I think I'm still here.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
you
here.
are. You are.
My wife just entered this, so don't tell her you guys gave me that cornbread recipe.
I won't. Just make sure you use buttermilk. Chop a little onion in it too. It's good.
She just hopped into here to say, "Hey, I'm calling." So I got to let you guys go. It was great talking to you.
Okay.
Oh, he's in the doghouse. He's in trouble.
Yep. Hey, you all come join. So I'm trying to do a couple services where the couples are up in the box and us single folks get a chance to learn through you all's lenses. So I would love for you all to join us on Thursday. Yeah, he had to go. Chris, what's
Yeah.
going on, bro?
Hey, Chris.
Oh, doing great. It's always great.
Oh man, that's
It
what's
was
up. You
good.
work at night, don't you, Chris?
Huh?
You work at night, don't you?
Of course.
That's what
You
I
know
thought.
what
Okay.
it is.
Oh, yeah.
Sundays through Thursdays, bro. Sundays through Thursdays.
Oh, Sunday. Okay, cool. Ooh, we got Friday and Saturday off. I like them days off.
Yes, exactly.
I like those off. So, Chris, go ahead and jump in real quick. Self-respect. What does that mean to you?
That means integrity. Straight up. Integrity. What I mean by integrity is you gotta know how to take care of yourself with the knowledge that you have of yourself. So, for example, if you know you ain't a partier, you ain't a clubber, don't try to force yourself to be. You know you gotta stay away from that because you know what the scene entails. You know what comes with that. You know that if you was to do this certain thing, that there are consequences that you're not gonna want to face.
Exactly.
And if you do that, you ain't respecting yourself. Because now you know, why was I such a fool for putting myself through this, knowing I didn't want to go through it in the first place?
Exactly.
And that respect is how you take care of yourself. So my respect is I see myself as too great to want to put myself in a situation that doesn't benefit me.
Yep. Yeah. I finally got to the point where I stopped putting myself in them situations.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, one may try to creep up on me, but yeah, I had to.
Me too. That's why I say wear a condom.
Exactly. They're like, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. Exactly.
I've been waiting for somebody to come up with that song all night. I'm like,
Exactly.
come on, you gotta hit us with the Aretha on that one. Okay, so with self-respect being in integrity, with self-respect, does it differ from self-confidence and self-esteem? And then explain.
No, they all tie right into each other.
Yep.
They all tie right into each other because you can't. I would put it like this: you can't have one without the other. So you gotta. So to get that self-confidence, that's the first step.
Yep.
To respect your confidence is the second step. And then what was the other one?
Self-esteem and self-confidence are the two that are different than respect.
Nah, they are the same. Yeah. So confidence, you gotta respect your own confidence. Because if not, then what's the point of having that confidence?
Exactly. I like that. Okay, then the last question is, what are some common ways that you may compromise your self-respect?
Ooh, well, for the first example was what I said, put yourself in bad situations. Second, I would say you could definitely compromise yourself by accepting disrespect. So if somebody disrespects you, right, in any way, shape, or form or fashion, and you don't stand up for yourself, or you'll be like, nah, I ain't, you don't tell that person, nah, I ain't dealing with that, that's definitely disrespecting yourself. So definitely stand your ground in your confidence. So somebody say, oh man, you ain't this, you ain't that. You gotta look them in the eye and be like, I may not be what you like, but I'm definitely working out for me. I don't know how you feel. So don't accept that any type of disrespect. So
Okay.
don't compromise through disrespect.
No compromise. Bama, I thought because Bama asked me this real good question, and I thought of another situation. Okay, I was the squarest kid in high school, right? And we had this summer job, and all my buddies, they lived on the edge a lot further than I did, and um, they decided we all got our last paycheck that had our little bonus money on it. So they all decided, well, we're gonna go buy a 12 pack of Schlitz malt liquor, and whoever can drink it first wins the pot of money that we put together. All of them were drinkers. I wasn't a drinker. I should have known better, Chris, to go do that. Listen to what Chris is talking about. Remind me of that story. Well, I was so brilliant at doing this at the end of the summer. Long story short, I got alcohol poisoning and missed the first week of indoor training for my track scholarship.
Damn.
And
Hard to get
so,
that back.
man, I had to drive to Austin, find my track coach, and beg for my scholarship back. Because that was not the brightest thing. I had, my self-respect. I was too busy trying to fit in when I was already fitting in somewhere. I just didn't recognize where I was fitting in at.
Right.
And so that made me think about that story there. Immortus, you found me, man. I appreciate it.
What's happening, young blood?
Oh, man, I'm chilling.
It's been a rough day for me.
Say it again.
It's been a rough day for me.
I was just getting ready to ask you, man, how you been? Because I think it is your hip and your knee, or just your knee, that's bothering you.
It's both of my knees, my left arm, because I had them strokes and I lost my left side, and I fell and tore my meniscus, my ACL and MCL in my left knee, and they couldn't operate on it. So I've been going through a lot of pain. Just getting up there, man. That's all it is. The best part of getting old is getting old. But it is what it is.
That's what I'm learning. That's exactly what I'm learning.
What you got going on tonight? Did you?
Man, we're talking about self-respect, and my daughter calling me again at the same time. Ooh, he ran the 1 mile and the 2 mile. I ran the 4x1, 110 high hurdles, 300-meter hurdles.
What did you just do this?
No. That was in college, high school.
No, I was about to say, you a bad man. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I don't run no more. No, I ripped my hamstring in half when I was in college. There is no more running for me. If I take off real quick, there's a calcium knot, like a bone in the middle of my hamstring. So if I take off real quick, my hamstring pop. I'm laying back down again.
Yeah.
I ran the 1 mile and 2 mile in high school.
Ooh.
What's up, Bama?
What's up, buddy? I ran at state. I went to state. My first time going to state was my senior year. I got beat by a Brazilian exchange student that was like 7 foot tall. And I don't think they have cars over there, because that boy had wheels on him. Like, if he had wings, he would have flew. Like one of his strides was like 2 of mine. Okay.
At 7 foot.
I ran I ran my mile at state my senior year at 4 minutes and 58 seconds. And still got beat. But I threw up afterwards. That's the hardest I ever pushed myself.
Oh yeah, you been a crazy mile.
Shoot, I wanted to be faster. That guy that beat me ran in like 5 minutes and almost like I think 4 minutes and 47 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I ran a fast 40 though too. For a redhead stepchild, I ran a fast 40. I ran a 4.6.
Oh man, that's what's up. My boy Mookie said he ran a 200. That's hard. Coming out that curve, that's hard.
Yeah.
It's
You got to lay it down in that third curve all the way around at the last time as hard as you can.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's real. There was a guy named Doyle Jones. Doyle Jones was 6'4", 6'5", all legs. He qualified his senior year for the Olympic trials. He was running very, very high 19s and low 20s. When he came out that curve, all you saw was elbows and knees. That's it. And so, yeah, that's the 200 and the 400. And the mile, anything after that, that's hard. It takes a lot. It's hard in the 100 and stuff like that too, but nothing like those other races.
Like it seems like when I ran track and still today when I'm working out and because I still enjoy running, like I get tunnel vision and nothing else is around me and it's just that same pace and you just keep on Cadillacing.
I'm on live, baby. Oh. I'm on my other account. I'm not on my regular account. Call DJ, okay? Yes, baby.
Why on your regular account?
Because I'm moving everything over to my podcast account. I'm going to text you my podcast account so you come join it live with us, okay? You can say hi to everybody. Okay?
Dad.
All right, love you too, baby girl. Mwah.
Aww.
I'm going to send it to you right now, okay? Huh, baby? Okay, baby, they can hear you right now. You're on speaker.
Hey, that's awesome. I can't wait to have a little girl, by gosh.
Hello.
Thank y'all. All right, bye, baby girl, okay? Bye, baby. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
That warms the hell out of my heart.
I appreciate that, man. That's she stays on it.
Look,
she stays on it and really make her daddy happy. And I love that little girl to death.
For all the dads in here, if y'all have never watched a movie, Courageous, I watched it for the first time. Me and my wife watched it Saturday night. And it's about men and daddies being men and being the leader they need to be for their children. That movie messed me up. And I ain't even a daddy yet.
There is, I would say, from what others say to me, I've been doing this thing pretty good.
Hey, the way she sounds, you've been doing it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
How old is she?
She's 9. She's 9.
Ooh, I remember those days. Mine's the two I got is 28, 27.
Right.
It's a whole new world when they get there, boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I say I do better now by the way that I treat myself. I can treat them even better.
Yeah.
She came here in January, and I took them over to Celebration Station, and we had a blast. We were playing. I talked about it on a Friday Live, and I went to the car to go get their phones, and that was literally the first time I felt like a father.
Right.
That was the first time. DJ was 12. My oldest, it's been like 14 years, and that was the first time I felt like a father. Because I was still trying to figure out who I was. I know how to do stuff. I'm great at doing stuff. Respecting myself while I'm doing it is a whole different story.
Right. Exactly.
So now that I'm respecting myself, I see so much differently, right? I have confidence. I have self-love. Well, hold on. I ain't going to self-confidence yet. We're going to stick with the 3 My self-esteem, my self-love, and now touching into my self-respect. Yeah, it's really different. Like, it is something different now.
What's up, Twilight? I couldn't even read the name. Sorry to cut you off, Duran.
No
I
problem.
couldn't catch. Yeah, I couldn't read your name, so I didn't know who it was.
You got your gun?
My
You
bad.
gonna go? Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm dealing with it. Go ahead, Duran. My bad.
Oh no, you good. You good. I was done with it, but no, that's and so now when I engage with my children and stuff, it's a lot. It's even better than the engagement before, because before I was pretty sure I was lost. I'm just doing what came to heart. Now I'm doing what comes to heart with my heart in it. I'll say it that way.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Coming from
Now
that.
my heart is in.
With my daughters being young women, I'm only a dad in conversation, but interactions is like keep me in the closet, or keep me tucked away in their pocket because, let's not be seen with dad, because he can be embarrassing, because I mean they'll learn when they get older, that you get to a point in time in life. It's not being disrespectful to other people. It just is not allowing yourself to be disrespected. That you have a tendency to express yourself more. So I'm not really one to be seen with because dad will embarrass you. I don't know where that comes from, but that's the way they see it. That dad is embarrassing. But yeah,
they know daddy also.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not I'm not a dad that we can go with dad here. It's like this. They'll take their mothers out for their birthday, but they won't take me out for mine. It ain't no big deal to me, but it's just that I'll ask her and say, how come y'all always taking y'all mom out for her birthday, but y'all never bothered to take me out? Well, when yours come, we'll do that, and then when mine comes, it goes. But I get a happy birthday, but I won't get a card. I won't get a visit. None of that stuff. And I'm not saying that we get ignored as fathers. I'm just saying we get put away. Not like old mule behind the barn or something, but we just get put away. I don't know if anybody understand that analogy, but because I doubt it's like stuff like that is the things that I was telling my kids. Y'all will never experience an outhouse, Y'all will never have to experience go killing a couple of chickens for breakfast,
Oh, I know
You'll
all
never.
about that.
Yeah, some of them don't know about pumping water, just to take a bath and all that stuff. They'll never experience a lot of that stuff.
Or a washboard.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff. Cause
I'm not ringing no chicken.
Oh man, we used to have to go get a man, chase him around, catch a couple of them, crawl up under the houses or the shotgun shacks. The
Yep.
old slave rooms. Yeah, all that old stuff, man. We used to have to do, and they'll never know what that's like to live like that. And and when you look back on it now, it was good compared to today. It was good living. It really was. It was good living. But as to what's going on today, man, I have very little knowledge, very little understanding of it, and why it's that way, and all that stuff. But it is what it is. I guess that's called progress. Yeah, my
Exactly.
eyesight is getting bad also because I got found out I got glaucoma, so I had to get that taken care of soon. So yeah, but
Oh,
getting old is a good thing. It really is. Because a lot of
it's a beautiful
young people ain't making it to what you 52, Duran.
52.
I got it's this young brother on here, man, and I mean I love the young brother. His name he go by Zex. I mean he a very knowledgeable young brother. And he was telling me that me and him was talking one day. He said you old, and I was like old. He was like yeah. He said because a lot of people ain't making it to that age these days, and I was like you're right. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
youth
I mean,
ain't making it to
know the
this
truth.
to this age. Yeah, but I like the way he said I was old.
Yeah, you old. But you know what?
Yeah,
You're the new old. That's the thing about it. You're the new representation of what the 60s is supposed to look like. And the
yeah,
energy and
and
openness that you have, Immortus. You know what I'm saying?
right. And speaking about that, I was
You're
talking
not
to
shooting
him.
it down. You want to learn it.
Right, I was speaking to him about that, and he was like, because I said, well, then I guess my my mother and my father, who passed away a couple of years ago, they was real old because they mid 80s and stuff. You know, he's like, man, that's great grandma age. and, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, that's great grandma age, man.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
I'm like, how's that? When my only got he the same age as my youngest son, and I said I got sons in their late 30s, man, middle 30s, and that's just their grandma. He's like, man, he said, shoot. My great grandma was in her 80s, and I was like, wow. He's like, yeah. I was like, that's something. But I guess it all depends on the time that you're born. And
yep.
also, did you ever you catch up with the young lady I was telling you about?
I jumped in her live today. My
Oh,
call was
okay.
stuck this morning, so I was able to get in her live today. That was a great conversation we had this morning.
Yeah, that must have been
So,
when I
man, I
left out
appreciate that share.
to send you the message. That must have been when I left out to send you the message, because my phone I need a new one because this thing. If I'm on here too long, the system UI kick on and cut everything off. So I got to get that fixed or whatever that is, you know. But yeah, man, she impressed me, and I said, I'm gonna tell you. I told her, I said, I'm gonna let you know somebody who you and him would have some good dialogue. And I told her, and she was like, send me a link to him. And I said, I'll send you some info. Yeah, and so I sent it to her, and then I sent it to you for her. Yeah, and you managed to catch her, huh?
Caught her right into it. It was a
Yeah,
great conversation we were
yeah.
talking about.
Nice young lady. Yep. Yeah, and Zex is another young brother that you should I'll try to send you a link with him. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a good young brother. He'll have you rolling. He kind of like Caleb. Yeah. Like, where's Caleb? Matter of fact, where's he at?
Caleb is in class tonight.
Okay.
Caleb started school, so he's in class. Caleb is so awesome. He went back and
Yeah,
found
he
out
is.
to get
He
his
keep me
associate.
laughing. Yeah, that young brother have me in tears sometimes. And Zex will too. Zex will have you in tears because that young brother, he be he'll tell you right off the bat, I'm a country boy. I'm an old country boy, and I'm just trying to tell you what's going on. And that brother got a lot of knowledge, man. He got a lot of
Yeah.
knowledge. Oh yeah, he a fine young man. And see, that's one of the things over here that I was telling a lot of the older people that I contact is trying to bridge the gap. You know, we got to bridge the gap in order for society to get better for everybody. The
Right.
the 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 older people, I guess, or the older people like me now, that we got to communicate with the younger people. We really do, and keep some good dialogue going on instead of because I tell you, man, this TikTok scares me big time, and I ain't been scared since I was 15 years old. You know, and that was 40 years ago, well over 40 years ago, and it really does because I can't believe the disdain and the gender war topics between men and women and the racial issues that I thought would be gone by now. You know, because I was a part of the first desegregation. You know, I don't think a lot of people ever experienced. I was a part of the first desegregation in the city that I lived in, and I would thought by now that race relations would have been a whole lot better, but it seemed like they getting worse or getting to a point of ridiculousness. Because I was listening to the artist guy the other day that does Dilbert talking about, just leave black people alone, just leave them alone and don't bother them and all of that stuff, because he, from his perspective, that there's no help for us, and it's not, but it is, you know. And the key words was I don't think he paid any attention to was leave them alone. Some people you just have to leave alone and let them do their own thing. You may see it as some kind of racial issue, but it's not. You just got to leave them alone because I watched a video the other day of where this guy was asking a guy to leave him alone, and the guy just kept messing with him. He just kept bothering him. And then he finally got what he was looking for when the guy jumped on him, And then he decided to leave him alone. It didn't make no sense that it had to go that far. But yeah, you just gotta leave people alone. Ain't nobody ever went to jail for leaving somebody alone. You know,
Right.
but it's getting crazy out here. I had a
I would say
homie just called me talking about that.
you just taught me something, Mortis. And what you just taught me is if we leave people alone, we have potential of stealing their life lessons away from them.
True.
When they experience these, see the deal is some of us have matured past that. There was a point in time where we thrived in that. Not everyone, but some of us. Like I say with Durant, I thrived in that. But then I had to make my decision to remove myself from it. I think what happens is addictions, right? We try to limit them to a powder that can be put inside of a plastic capsule or into a brick or into some rolling paper.
All right.
I have witnessed and realized that addictions can be almost anything. We can be addicted to being too black to the point to where we don't see where the world is evolving and respecting the multicultures.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And the deal
Yep.
is we have to grow out of stuff when we're ready to, not when other people want us to. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Bama, my red-headed brother. And I'm a stepbrother, red-headed brother. I love the way Bama say, I used to be a heathen. You know what I'm saying? He's a heathen on both. But I love the stories that he shared when he was a heathen, because all of that heathenism helped him love the hell out of the wife that he got right now.
Right.
He loved her like crazy. And so I don't want to take that away from them, because nobody took it from me. They loved me enough and respected Duran enough and self-respected. They respected me. So now I have to have enough self-respect to mind my business and experience other people as they transition out of theirs.
Yep.
And be in a position to where I can apply them tools that when they're ready to come out, at least they have something to come out with that's different.
Yep.
He said he didn't get in trouble. Uh-oh. She said, good night. Let me send it to her. I forgot to send this to my baby. When I tell you, oh my gosh, that little girl so spoiled. Oh, she is. Oh, she is. But it's 10 o'clock. We hit our 2-hour mark tonight. I try to respect that time of everybody, more importantly, Lil Duran, so he can go to bed and make breakfast in the morning before he go to school. And so, but I
Okay,
truly, go ahead.
You on the East Coast?
Yes, East Coast. Yep, I'm on the East Coast.
I'm in the Midwest.
Right, you outside Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right outside of Chicago. I remember that. Honey D, Dean, did I make you a moderator yet? I did just now. And Chris, you're a moderator.
Oh, thank you.
And so, but yeah,
It's a
man, I
pleasure.
appreciate y'all so much. This platform is going to grow just like the other one did. It's just people transitioning from the other one. But you know what? I'm in a position that a lot of people are not in. I can go live on 2 different devices and ask the other people to come out of that live and come over here. So that's not bad. That's using self-respect and self-esteem and self-confidence. I'm doing all right. I'm doing better than all right. And I appreciate the support between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And it is good dialogue, man. It's real good because I mean some of these lives, because I do a lot of lurking and surfing.
Right.
And some of these lives is just outrageous. They outrageous. I mean, just outrageous.
They still growing. We all have to experience our own journeys, right? They're in the midst of theirs. They're in the midst of their journey. Do I support it? Yes, from afar, not up close. But I support them in what they're learning in life, because that's their lesson. I mean, it's their lesson.
I bypass a lot of them because they it's just some of it is just old corrupt communication, and it's not good for your ears.
Well,
it does have potential to be corrupt. But it's pretty clear for the ones that stay in it. It's where they are. It's where they are. It's where they are. And, you know, like I say, there was a point in time when I was there. Go ahead, Bam.
I was going to say I have to stay away from because I don't have a filter. And if they ever ask me my opinion, I always get bananaed for some reason. But, you know, I always tell people, like, if you got soft skin, don't ask me for my opinion because you might not like it.
There you go. Thank y'all so much. So let me go ahead and end this one out. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Mookie, go to search in TikTok, search for Follow Train. And then one of the buttons says live or something like that. Click on one of those and they'll give you the instructions in those, and then follow those instructions. Like you post in there and then you do something to like, and then as everybody like yours, you follow them, they follow you, And then what ends up happening is on this account right here, I went from 100 and something on a Tuesday to over 1,000 on a Thursday. Okay. So we can get you up here in this box, Moki, and then we can get you set up. Y'all, I'm thinking about transitioning real quick before I close out. The 100 men in December, I do a lot of my quiet time in the bathtub. And I was like, you know what? If I build out some marketing, I might be able to get 10,000 if I market this thing right. And so I'm praying on that one. There's a possibility.
10,000 what? Tubs?
No. 10,000 men to go live at the same time at 8 o'clock Central. Not 8 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Go live, 8 o'clock Eastern. That covers all the time zones. 5 o'clock on the West Coast, right? But if I can get Central, Eastern, and Mountain, I'm good. It's going to be Pacific. It's going to be 5 o'clock. Mountain is going to be 6 o'clock. And to get 10,000, I definitely will. If we can get 10,000 to do it, we just change TikTok. So 10,000 go live and all of them get 100. That's 1 million people went live at the same time with the same topic.
TikTok would shut us down. They'd be like, boycott. That's too much love in one area. We gotta get rid of these things.
What is this cult of positivity going on? We gotta shut this down.
That show what it seems like.
Well, night, Mr. New Black Church. I appreciate it again, brother.
You can call me Duran. Quit calling me by my middle name.
Hey, I didn't mean to. It just came out.
I was like, I did tell him that. I gave him the full name that day. I sure did. Hot diggity dog. All right, thank y'all so much. Thank everybody that's in the chat. Honey Dean, I'm going to hit you up on that because there's some other stuff I need help with. Y'all, Sunday.
Me too, Honey D. I need help too.
Sunday, I go live on my YouTube. I need to put my link tree on this account too. I'm going to put my link tree on here so I can see my YouTube account. I'm going to go live for the first time on YouTube in my studio. And so you all get a chance to see the project I've been working that you all encouraged me to do back in December. You all get a chance to see the studio finally.
Wait, was I wasn't in that all. You can't say you all. I wasn't involved in that all.
Yes, you was. You were part of that too. You all get a chance to see what you all have pushed me into. And I appreciate y'all for the believing in me and just supporting me on all this right here. But y'all have an amazing night. Thank y'all so much from the box. Thank y'all for hanging out.
Appreciate you, bro.
From the chat and everything. I appreciate y'all so much. I'll see y'all Wednesday night for Women Wednesday, okay?
All righty.
All right, y'all.
Later, Bama. Later, Twilight.
Later, y'all. Good night, y'all. Be blessed.
Later, y'all. Thank y'all.
Likewise.